Saturn Devouring His Son by Francisco Goya is a dark, morbid piece of artwork that Goya, surprisingly, hung in his dining room. Doesn't look very appetizing, does it? It was inspired by a Greek mythology story, the story of Saturn fearing one of his children would overthrow him. So, as any awesome father would, he devoured one of his own children. Being made in the early 1800s, it was a different type of art. It differs from that sort of time. It's a very dark and almost disgusting type of art, whereas during that time they had more happy and religious artwork, mostly of women in bright clothing, white clothing just being very clean, whereas this one is just dark and crazy. It's part of the reason why I like it. I really like it because of, you can see each individual brushstroke was done with precision, and it has a purpose. Every brushstroke has a purpose in this artwork, and I love art like that. Let's move along and talk about the great detail in this art. As you can see, I'm zooming into the leg of Saturn, and you can see almost a soul-like figure, almost a ghost-like figure, emerging from what looks like his foot. And zooming further into his chest cavity, you can see the remnants of what was a skull or a face. This art piece will always leave a twisted yet interesting sensation in my stomach, and that's really what I want out of art, is a response like this, something that makes me feel emotional, and what this piece does is exactly what I just said. Liberty Leading the People is a painting by Eugene Delacroix. This picture symbolizes both the power of the people and the destruction and horrors of war. You can see in the middle of the painting a woman on a pedestal of corpses, wielding the French flag in one hand and a rifle brandished with a bayonet in the other. This painting is still relevant today because what it symbolizes happens in many countries all over the world. The French Revolution was a huge part of history. It was right after the American Revolution and, well, when democracy started taking over the world. This painting embodies the French Revolution. It shows how powerful the people are united and how powerless the monarchy was without the people. How I perceive this artwork is the woman in the middle embodies liberty, or freedom in other words, and the people that are behind her worship her as a goddess. As you can see in the middle of the painting, there's a light color scheme in the background, which is significant in this artwork because normally lighter colors are more of a religious thing more than they are of a... It symbolizes a higher power, if you can kind of understand what that means to me. So she is on a pedestal in the middle. She is above everybody else. She is a greater person. David by Andrea del Verrocchio was a bronze statue with gold detailing, made in the late 15th century. This is a Christian statue depicting the future king of Israel, David, after slaying the giant Goliath, a protagonist in most Christian stories, and this is a great triumphant victory over him. The story is more of a underdog kind of situation where David was helping God's children, or the helpless people of God, and David won out of overwhelming odds, and I really like this piece because of that. I love underdogs. I like underdog stories. I always root for the underdog. So that's just something personal about it. Other people may interpret it as something as brutish or disgusting, but during that time that was great symbolism, as it symbolizes victory or power, like I've been stressing. What I like most about the art piece itself is how David is standing like he doesn't care, like, oh, I was ready for this, I overcame him because I was obviously the better person, and he's just standing with such confidence that it's almost intimidating. Like, look at his arms. One arm is just holding his sword nonchalantly, and the other one is posted up on his hip. Like, yeah, I just killed him. What did you do today? Prior to contrary belief, it's not just a Christian story as well. Other religions interpret it differently, but what as I see this as, I see it as the Bible's interpretation of David and Goliath. Now, let's get into some art that I don't really like. Some art that I don't really like is kente cloth. Well, that's because it has red, blues, and yellows, which some people, well, most of you guys probably do not know that I'm red-blue colorblind, and it is very hard for me to tell the difference. So when I look at this, it gives me sort of a headache, and it just irritates me. But I could see, I like the patterns, but the color scheme is just, it's not pretty to me. I do not like it at all. It just hurts my eyes to look at. Even editing the video right now, it hurts my eyes to look at. This cloth is a clothing worn by African people, mostly towards the South Africa. It was worn for very important events, and it was regarded as the cloth of kings. So, as you may assume, a lot of the poor people did not have it. It was a symbol of royalty. And as history has proven, history really does change course of events, and still to this day people in Africa wear this type of clothing. You would personally never catch me in it because I would get a headache and probably not be the funnest person to be around. It can also be different colors, and the piece I'm currently focusing on is the most common type, but it can be reds, greens, blues, greens, which, if a little bit of knowledge on color blindness, if the blue and red are separated by green, it doesn't hurt my eyes as bad. So if there was a lot of green mixed into this, I probably wouldn't get a headache when I'm looking at it. Something I really do appreciate about it is each color has a significance. Black symbolizes being matured, blue symbolizes love or harmony, green symbolizes the earth and plants and growth, gold symbolizes royalty, that's kind of a given, gray symbolizes healing and cleansing, maroon, the color of Mother Earth associated with healing, pink is the female essence of life, purple associated with more feminine aspects of life, red is more of political and spiritual bonds, silver is serenity, purity, it's associated with the moon, yellow, preciousness, royalty, wealth, just all of that kind of stuff, just good vibes all in general. So other than it's hurting my eyes, I do see the art aspects in it. I just can't appreciate it because, well, for personal reasons really.